In the list of these new hospitals, there's a throwaway line that says Dorset's plans are based around various, brackets potentially 12, community hospitals. So that means that 12 out of 34, so more than a third of these new planned Phase 2 hospitals are centred on community hospitals in Dorset. And the thing is, they may not be how you imagine a hospital to be at all. They're what used to be called cottage hospitals, so they're pretty small. Maybe have a minor injuries unit, audiology, some mental health services, perhaps they do a spot of surgery.
Oh, lovely. It's like a real hospital, only smaller and with a thatched roof.
I don't think they'll have thatched roofs, but I'll tell you something else they may not have: overnight beds.
A hospital with no beds, like a pub with no beer. Intriguing.
Indeed. The people at Dorset NHS Trust are keen to tell us that the number of beds fluctuates, but at the moment, 4 of them don't have any beds at all. In fact, the total number of beds across these 12 community hospitals has shrunk by 20% over the last 2 years.
Right, so fewer beds, and some of the hospitals that exist don't have any beds. Doesn't sound like they necessarily want to build 12 more then.
It doesn't, does it? Especially because the reason one of the places scrapped all their beds was because, you guessed it, they didn't have enough nurses to attend to them.
So, we already know we're not getting 40 new hospitals straight away, and it sounds like we aren't really getting that many new hospitals at all. Well, not necessarily. Some renovations, some vague intentions, some very small hospitals that aren't actually the kind of hospitals anyone is thinking of.
That's right. Old hospitals will be spruced up and get some new bits, and if you fast forward 10 years into the future, you may even find that some of the existing hospitals have been knocked down and there's a hospital 2.0 in its place. In fact, even 10 years may be optimistic. It takes ages to plan and build a whole hospital. No surprise to anyone who's ever watched Grand Designs or had a loft conversion. Also, let's not forget, there's no guarantee of funding for building of any of these Phase 2 projects at the moment, only for trusts to put together a plan. So, the bottom line, not one person we've spoken to has suggested their area will get a single extra hospital as a result of this money.